Nelly. Give me a breath. Tell me when. We have our chalice lighters. All right, let's go.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
I invite you to rise as you are able in body or spirit. And I want to teach you a motion that goes with this song. It's gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle, in the power, Spirit draw near. Notice how the gathered heres are always the same. Let's keep going.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here with one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Danbury, those in person and those online. My name is Todd Zagoric. My pronouns are he, him, and his. Please silence your phones if you have not done so already. As always, we respectfully acknowledge that the ground under our building is the traditional unceded land of the Peguesit people. And we continue as a congregation to look for ways to show our solidarity with them. You may arrive here this morning exhausted from a rough week. You may arrive here this morning invigorated from an extra hour of sleep last night. Or you may arrive here depressed because the Yankees imploded and blew the World Series. Or you may arrive here ecstatic because the Yankees imploded and blew the World Series. You may be scared to death about the election on Tuesday. You may be feeling smug and self-satisfied because you got all your holiday shopping done at the auction last night. Or you might just be looking forward to music at the Ridge this afternoon at 4 o'clock. However you're feeling, I'm glad that you're here. And we hope that when the service is ended, that you'll go away feeling a little better or even better than you're feeling right now. So please take a moment as we begin to say hello, greet your neighbor, say hello, introduce yourself to people that you don't know, and then we'll bring you back with the chimes.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Tony Lorenzen, the minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Danbury. And I too welcome you to our celebration for all ages this morning, a celebration of all souls as we begin a month on the theme of repair, to fix stuff up. I invite you to join with me in our children's affirmation. We are Unitarian Universalists. We are people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. We care for the earth and each other.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light growing. Show us to beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show us to beauty, vision, and joy.
We make this time and place holy simply by being here together. And we begin with lighting our flaming chalice, the symbol of the Unitarian Universalist tradition. Edie is going to help us with the lighting of the chalice, and please join me in reciting the words. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and justice is its light. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek and speak the truth in love, to help one another and celebrate life.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision and joy.
This morning, we are having to do a little repair as we get ready for our program this morning because Sierra Maria is not well, so she's not with us this morning. So the part of Sierra Marie will be played this morning by me and with help from Gina and Heather. And in case you're thinking, does it take 3 people to cover Sierra Marie when she's not here? The answer is yes, absolutely it does. And she shares with us over this summer, she says, my mom shared with me words from Pulitzer Prize winning author Louise Erdrich, who is from the Turtle Mountain Band of the Chippewa. And she says, life will break you. Nobody can protect you from that. And being alone won't either. For solitude will also break you with its yearning. You have to feel love. You have to feel. It is the reason you are here on earth. You have to risk your heart. You are here to be swallowed up. And when it happens that you are broken or betrayed or left or hurt or death brushes too near, let yourself sit by an apple tree and listen to the apples falling on the ground around you in heaps, wasting their sweetness. Tell yourself that you tasted as many as you could. And this is life. Our hearts are breaking and mending and breaking and mending and breaking and mending. And we have places like apple trees we can go to sit and rest in the knowledge that breaking is never the final word. Today, we're going to create a space where death is not the final word, a beautiful space where we can commune with our beloved dead, remember their lives and their values, and the way that between us, love is always the final word. We're going to do this in 2 parts this morning. First, we're going to help create this altar space. And later in the service, we will fill it with pictures and mementos from our dear deceased loved ones. I want to invite all of you now who have brought flowers or candles or similar items to decorate the altar to come up and place them on the altar at this time. If you have not brought flowers or other things like that to decorate the altar, we have flowers and candles over here, and Gina and Heather will help get all of those over here. If people of any age would like to help volunteer to bring those flowers and candles to the altar, that would be a great help too. At this time, if there are any children who would like to go up to the Spirit Play corner, you can do that at this time. Now, if you did not bring a memento or a photograph of a loved one who has passed on, you received with your order of service today a little card. And whether you did or didn't bring a photo or memento, you're invited, if you want to write the name of a loved one who's passed on, or draw a picture, or anything that helps you remember them. And that will be able to be placed up here later when we bring forward all the mementos and photographs.
And there's a pencil at the end of the aisle. What do you need?
Yeah. And there are pencils scattered around on the floor in cups, so if you want one, you can use that. So this Tuesday is our national presidential election day. And people are having lots of different emotions about this. And since voting is one of the ways we do repair of the world, I wanted to reflect a little bit about that this morning. And one of the things I do when I'm anxious about important events in the world, such as an election, is we're going to put those up at a later time. You can hold those. We're not going to bring things up now. These are just so you can prepare. And we'll have another time later in the service where we're going to invite everybody to bring up their cards and photos and mementos. That was just altar building. We'll do altar placing later in the service. You can leave them there if you've already put them up. So, oh, we lost a candle. There we go. Beeswax, it looks like, too. There we go. All right. Sometimes things seem fragile, like they'll tip over any second. And when these times come up, one of the things I always turn to is sacred writing. For some people, that's scripture. For other people, it's poetry. Here are some favorite passages of mine for times when things seem uncertain and unsure, like your candle might fall over. I wish it need not have happened in my time, said Frodo. So do I, said Gandalf. And so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. What we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. Another one of my favorite scriptures is, anyone can slay a dragon, but try waking up in the morning and loving the world all over again. That's what takes a real hero. And another one of my favorite pieces of sacred writing for when it seems that things are difficult is, now winter is truly coming. Winter is coming. And in the winter, we must protect ourselves and look after one another. And this one is another I turn to. The place where you made your stand never mattered, only that you were there and still on your feet. Tikkun olam is a Hebrew phrase that means repair the world. And one of the ways we repair the world is through participating in the democratic process. Voting is one of those processes. And on Tuesday, we will vote for president and a lot of other offices, both national and local. A lot of people, including me, maybe including you, are nervous, if not scared, about this election and about what our country's going to decide about who is the best candidate to be president. A minister who was also a United States Senator, once said, "A vote is like a prayer for the type of world you want to live in." And when people vote, when you take part in any democratic process, what you're doing is you're saying like a type of prayer for the values you want, for the kind of world you want, for the way you think things should be. Elections are important because they can take us step by step closer to the beloved community. They can take us a step further away, but they can also take us a step closer, closer to that place of kindness and compassion and inclusion and fairness and love. And no matter who wins this election or any election, the work we have to do of tikkun olam, of repairing the world, is always the same. It's always there. We need to be doing that work yesterday, today, Tuesday, and then next week, and next month, and next year. Our work standing up for justice and equity and transformation and pluralism and interdependence and generosity and love, that's the work we got to do today and tomorrow, no matter who wins. It might be a little harder to do if some people win elections than other people, but it's still going to be the same work. And our job is always to turn to those values, the kindness, the compassion, the love, the inclusion, and practice them all the time. When we practice these values, we repair the world. We're going to repair the world today. We're going to repair it during the election on Tuesday. We're going to repair it after the election. It might be a little easier or more difficult to do that repair depending on the outcome of things, but that's true day to day anyway. Some days it's easier to see good things and make good things happen in the world, and some days it's harder. And that's going to be the same going forward from here as well. Our goal and the tool we use to reach that goal remains love.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all I rest in His love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all we rest in this love.
In Buddhism, there is a teaching called the three jewels or the three treasures because they are so important to practicing the Buddhist tradition. And those three treasures are this: I take refuge in Buddha, I take refuge in Dharma, I take refuge in Sangha. These refuges in the Buddhist tradition are places where you can turn to as a Buddhist to always be upheld, comforted, taught, encouraged, and sent forth into the world to do your practice day after day. Millions of Buddhists all over the world say these things every day to remind themselves. And the Buddha was a great teacher. And the Dharma means teaching, the teachings of Buddhism. And the Sangha is the community. We all have these three treasures or jewels, even as Unitarian Universalists. And I think people of any faith tradition have them. We have good teachers. And in Unitarian Universalism, our teachers are all the wise people who has ever lived, who have taught us kindness and compassion and love and justice and equity. I bet you have a favorite teacher. Who are some of your favorite teachers? It's not a rhetorical question. I'm actually asking you, who are some of your favorite teachers? Mandela. Thich Nhat Hanh. Martin Luther King. Kurt Vonnegut.
Sarah Ann Fleischer.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah. We have so many. And when times are difficult, we turn to the teachers we trust. And we turn to the things they taught us, the Dharma, the teaching. In Unitarian Universalism, we have what we call the living tradition, which includes wisdom from all the world's religious traditions and science and all the things that we've learned that help make our world a better place, kinder, more compassionate, full of love, peaceful, not violent. And when things are difficult, we turn to those teachings to remind us who we are, what we value, and how we should live, even when it's hard. And as Unitarian Universalists, we have a Sangha. The Sangha is the community of learning, the community of practice. Guess what our Sangha is? You're in it right now. Take a look around. This is your Sangha. This is your community where you learn, your community where you practice your deepest, most important values. And when times are rough, this community is one of the things that holds you up and gives you life, helps you remember what your values are, what the good is in the world, helps you remember what love calls us to do and asks us to do, even when it's hard. So we live in a time that can sometimes be really difficult. We have an election that a lot of people are very concerned about. We have wars in Ukraine and wars in Gaza. And the only way we get to overcome these difficulties, the only way out of them is to go through them. We cannot wish them away. We must go through it. But we only can go through it together, relying on our wise teachers, what they've taught us, and the community that we walk with. The only way out is through. The only way through is together. And because of that, one of the things we do here on Sunday is we share milestones of our lives with each other. We share them silently. We place stones in the bowl to represent something that's in our heart. And then sometimes we even speak them out loud so people really understand what's happening with us. At this time, I invite those of you who would like to share a milestone silently by placing a stone to come forward and do that.
I really can't sum up our work better than that. But I also will tell you that we receive no federal and state funding, so I appreciate being asked here today more than you could possibly know. And if anyone has any questions, I'll be around for a little bit after and happy to speak to you. Once again, thank you so much for inviting me here this morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jen. When we share our efforts and energy and make financial contributions to this congregation, we're giving gifts to each other, and we appreciate your generosity. There are many ways to give. We will be passing the collection plates now, and you can also send a check at any time you want to UUCD at 24 Clapboard Ridge Road in Danbury. And we also have a QR code on the screen. Oh, and in addition, today, the children will be helping to collect non-perishable food donations for the Dorothy Day Hospitality Center. So if you remember to bring that, hold it up so that they can see you coming.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I was younger than you are now. When I was given my first command, I led my men into a massacre, witnessed their deaths firsthand. Oh, I made every mistake. I felt the shame rise in me. And even now I lie awake, knowing history has its eyes on me. History. History has its eyes on me. History. Let me tell you what I'd wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. Don't nobody have control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Oh, I know that we can win. I know greatness lies in you. Remember from here on in that history has its eyes on you. History. History has its eyes on you. History. Whoa, 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 whoa. History has its eyes on you. History. History has its eyes on you. History. History has its eyes on you. History.
I have a friend, Laura Everett, and it's interesting. Sierra Marie wanted to note her this morning as well. She's a white minister from the United Church of Christ, and she's the executive director of the Massachusetts Council of Churches. I highly recommend looking Laura Everett up. She's got a lot of great stuff I think you would like. And she says, we live among the living and the dead at all times. At this time of the year, Sierra Marie reminds us when the trees offer dead leaves to the earth, and even the most alive grow sleepy. We set a table of remembrance for all souls, for those who have died long ago, those whose deaths have come more recently, for the most ancient of ancestors, for those whose passing seemed like yesterday, for those who are deeply beloved, and even those with whom we may have found things difficult from time to time. It never diminishes love we hold. These are the people who shaped us and shaped our lives, the lives from which our lives come. And I invite you now to bring your mementos, your photos, to the table and place them. If you've written a card, you can put on the table, or watch, there's a string here you can hang it on. And while you come up and place your remembrances, Jerry will play behind us. We're just gonna place them. I'm just gonna place. There's always a lot of emotion when we remember people we love. So I invite you this morning, as we tend to do after this service is over, we hang out. Some of us have coffee, we chat with each other. I invite you this morning to chat with each other about the people you love and who you lost. You know, sometimes you'll attend a funeral and memorial service, and afterwards there'll be a reception. And we'll talk about the person we missed, the person whose life we just remembered and celebrated. This morning, we have a lot of people to remember and celebrate. So our remembrance and celebration doesn't end when we sing the final song and Jerry plays his postlude and we drift down. This always continues. And this morning, talk to each other. Share the stories of the people you love with each other. I invite you to leave your mementos here as long as you can until you're ready to leave the building. And right after the service is finished, we're going to take a couple pictures too. And if anybody has a problem with anything being photographed, we invite you to just flag me down and come get it before we do that. We celebrate all souls. And in our tradition, we believe all the souls are holy. And so are every one of you. So are all of us. Let's remember that as we leave this morning in love. We invite you to say with us the words of the chalice extinguishing. We extinguish this flame,
but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again.
Our closing song is We Are a Circle. It's very short. Join in with us as you pick it up.
We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending.
This service is over and our time to serve the world begins. May the love in our hearts remind us of what is possible and that it is always our job to go out and repair the world. Go in peace, holy ones.